Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm a board-certified behavior analyst. I make videos about applied behavior analysis and how it can be used to help children with autism. Today, I'm going a little bit off topic to talk about what BCBA should expect during their first year in their new role. Even with the best fieldwork experience and graduate coursework, becoming a BCBA will come with challenges you might not expect. Keep in mind that this is only one person's perspective. However, I like to think that some of these tips will be generally useful for all BCBAs. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get started. Tip number 1, be prepared for more responsibility. This sounds like a no-brainer. If you're in charge of treatment for a client, that comes with way more decision-making responsibility than it does for an RBT. But for me personally, the emotional weight of that transition was enormous and unprecedented. You will be held accountable by your clients, their caregivers, your RBTs, and insurance companies to make the right decisions. Your clinical judgment will be questioned. The stakes will be high, as ABA therapy is often expensive, but don't let the pressure crush you. The remaining tips I have for you will explain how you can stay afloat while you get used to your new role. Tip number 2 is get it into your head now that you're not going to know everything you need to know as a brand new BCBA. You should be able to openly admit that because you can't learn new things if you think you already know everything. And it's going to be okay because there are tons of resources out there for you. I'm in my 4th year as a BCBA and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of what's out there for me to learn. Start on your continuing education right away, focusing on topics that are directly relevant to your client's needs. This will also keep you from falling behind on your CEUs. You should also find mentors and join communities of other BCBAs to learn from. Facebook has a ton of awesome groups you can join. You can also get involved in your local affiliate chapter of ABAI. Make sure to subscribe to BACB emails to stay in the know about upcoming events, conferences, and resources. My 3rd tip is to stay organized. The amount of information you'll need to remember and integrate into a cohesive treatment plan for just one client can be overwhelming. It'll probably be too much for you to keep up with without the use of technology. Start developing a system on day 1 to keep that information organized. I put everything into Microsoft OneNote because I don't trust myself to remember anything. Evernote and Google Keep are good too. Just make sure your information is stored securely to protect client confidentiality. My 4th tip is to get comfortable with giving and receiving corrective feedback. This should be part of your fieldwork experience, but you still might not be totally comfortable with it. Make sure to focus on this in your continuing education as well. Just remember that corrective feedback serves the purpose of maximizing clinical quality for your clients and makes the one receiving feedback better at their work. Try to frame your feedback so that it's seen in a way that's helpful and constructive and not seen as a personal attack on anyone, which is a perfect segue into my next tip. Number 5 is to be kind to yourself and others. 99% of the time, everyone you interact with as a BCBA, including but not limited to RBTs, parents, and related service providers like speech therapists and OTs, are just doing their best. You'll need to build rapport and trust with these other people to convince them to follow your recommendations. Don't expect anyone, including yourself, to be perfect. If something doesn't go according to plan, it's not the end of the world. You just have to learn to be flexible and pivot when unexpected things happen. It gets easier with practice. And remember, your well-being is important too. Set clear boundaries with the people you work with so that their expectations of you are realistic. And make sure to practice self-care at work and outside work. Dr. Julie Slowiak is a BCBAD whose specialization is in self-care in the workplace and work-life flow. I'll leave a link in the description to a podcast episode where she made an appearance to talk about this topic. And those are my 5 tips on how to succeed as a BCBA in your first year. Leave any questions or comments down below. Thank you for watching.